Hi. Uh, for It has been a good experience working on Lumira. I've chosen big data as one of the story. To tell you more about it, the big data thing has been evolving since longer period of time, for say for a period of 2 years, and then a lot of companies, big companies, invest in big data, and we also have a lot of startups, 100 plus startups who have started investing on big data. A lot of investment firms started looking at startups and investing millions of dollars. They're doing a big investment on big data companies, and they've started generating a lot of revenues. So to start with it, like for big data, the say for trend of big data for stock analysis, not stock analysis, but for the trend of big data, and for uh, there has been a lot of studies, forecasts, trends, infographics available on the internet, but there is no real-time interaction where you can look at different companies, filter different companies, get to know what are the companies exactly you're looking for, and if you want to invest on some startups, or if you want to invest on some big company stock of big companies, what are those companies and how you can analyze those trends of those companies and analyze the start of those companies. So this is the actual focus of this whole story. So you understand, you forecast the big data trend, and then you analyze the stock or startups, and then start investing on it. So there have been a lot of data generated by Gartner, IDC, a lot of Wikibon, a lot of companies like this, so that they sell these forecast data for thousands of dollars, and it's very hard to find for people who are only big companies can buy those data, but for the people who wanna end up investing on these companies, they don't find a chance to go through it. So this study was to go through this, understand if you don't know stock, if you don't know big data, what is happening in big data market, and how many companies are there in big data market, the revenue analysis of big data market. So this is a complete cycle. What we will do is we have a each storyboard where we go through each storyboard and analyze the actual data, and then the extension that I have built and the data that I have analyzed, the data that I have put through. These are some of the brief charts available, but you can do more with it. You can do more type of analysis. You can filter out. So all these are possible. But currently, we have done a brief whatever possibility in a period of time that we had, and then what I'll do is I'll go to the vSpecter extension where I'll look at the show you the code, but I'll not be going in detail, but at least show you a brief code, how easy is vSpecter for us to develop, and then start debugging stuff. And also, since Lumira is built on the browser-based platform, I just go through the debugging very easily. That's one of the good advantages. So let's start and go to one by one. Bytes of data. Currently, you can say Facebook, Twitter, amount of data we generate is completely unstructured, and it has been growing like anything, and amount of YouTube videos. So when you see the trend that is being shown here from 2012 to 2015, each zettabyte of data with all varieties of data, mails, cloud, chat, your Twitter, your videos, your photos, everything together. So these are unstructured data that needs to be analyzed by companies, or if there are business transactions, there are a lot of business transactions generated every day, and they want to do a real-time analysis to get an insight into it in minutes of a second, and then start focusing on that particular part. There is a problem, so all these things have to be analyzed before it goes to. So there are a lot of data, and a lot less time has to be taken, and you need the results. So that's the reason big data has been growing, and visually you need to understand that it is going live forecasting, live forecasting, etc. So SAP has predicted that we need to decide like what are the challenges that the company is facing currently, what is the relevant data, cost of infrastructure, cloud. You have, you need IT skills for all this. So all these things are challenges that any company faces. So how will big data analysis change your business? You have a you know you will have more efficient operation, lower cost. Your company will be agile. You can take decisions. So all these things. So this story is all about, I start with, these are images. So I start with collecting those images and putting in the story. So to tell a particular story, start with a sense of graphical representation stuff. Just putting in text. That's where Lumira comes in, where you analyze real time, you show real time along with what you want to show in a proper representation graphic form. So after this, I talk about a big data trend. For example, these particular extension was built by me from the D3 word collection library, but the current existing extensions in Lumira, where you can generate a cloud with a one single color with a variation of gray to dark. Whereas here we have built we have analyzed occurrence of some words, and then using the Python NLP, I've brought in all the articles and generated what are generated the keywords and put in all those keywords with the number of occurrence into an Excel. So this is currently an Excel driven or CSV driven data, but at the end of the day, you can pass HANA analysis data from the HANA box, where it has an intelligent system which will analyze your text, your Twitter stream, your Facebook stream, anything, and then put in, and you can control the whole stuff, the way in which it will look. The second time I say, when you look at this, so this is one way of looking at it. So based on the occurrence, it will, when I come back, it will dynamically generate the new look for it. So this has been one of the significant achievements. So this is complete big data trend. So what we go with the next storyboard is about what are the value that any company investing in big data gets. So when you see this part of the story, so what is it mean for a retail company, consulting company, so different types of company. So then we start analyzing revenue of current big data companies. So I'll start detailing it one by one. So one is, so these are top big data revenue companies currently. There are other companies and other device companies which will go beyond this limit, but I've excluded that because I want to show only the real single company that has been analyzing. So it's like this averaging of 2012 and then current 2013 data. So this has been trending like this, and then SAP stands here with a $545 million in revenue from big data. So this is one, and then we have a top 20 mainstream companies with total revenue exceeding, exceeding big numbers. So it started. General Electric is one of them who is investing on big data. HP is one of them who is investing on big data. So I've consolidated 2013 and 2012 data and put it here. So who is top in the particular series? So 2012 and 2013. So these are total revenue generation companies, the top 20 that we have put. So what it tells? It tells who are the big giants in the big data market, and it also tells who is the giants in big data is complete by revenue. So that's one of the stuff. So proceeding with the storyboard, we have next where I started putting top big data companies with more percentage of software revenues. So we have different categories of big data revenue, like hardware revenue, software revenue, and servicing. And so I want to put in mainly software because SAP is one of them among the top. So, but what you can do is you can categorize and filter out indicators and put, I want to analyze software, I want to analyze hardware, I want to analyze anything for that matter. So currently I put one, but you can start putting anything. So I've started showing on 2012, 2013 data, where started giving all the details. So once after this, I start going next, where I talk about big data revenue by component. So once you say component, it means that big data is divided into different categories. Such this when you say this indicator, we say so we have a NoSQL database component, we have a infrastructure component in big data, we have networking component. So all this, when you see, it's a percentage of revenue that it is generating from big data, and so these are in billions of dollars. So you can see, so this is how we have compared that revenue. And then when you come down, we say big data category revenue and differentiate 2013, 2014, how company has evolved in different categories, like different categories of big data, like hardware revenue, 2013, 37% of revenue, and 2014, 2012 and 2013. Similarly for service and for software. So now, after all this analysis, we are looking at what is next for big data forecast, how this category of revenue will evolve until 2017. So these are some of the insights, that data that has been there collected based on the on different combination of judgment. So I've plotted a 3D graph where I will show different subcategory components of big data, and then 2012 and 2013 data, and then start comparing one by one. So for example, this is like compute by component. In 2013 it will be 3.64 billion, and then in 2014, 2017. So what will grow and what will not grow, and what is the thing that we as a company need to focus on, or as an investor, if we are investing in a company, we need to look at all these factors. So this will give you an insight of, like, you can drill down, like, what are the company that is in this particular market, and start investing in those companies. So then once we have done all this analysis, we look at what are the big data partner ecosystem. Like if I'm a company where I'm going to invest on, how good is the partner base and how many partners are there with it. So I built this chart chart with the data coming from data meet, and then I've consolidated those and into a matrix, and then put it in this chart where it will show the wired connection between the different partner ecosystem. So this chart was briefly developed. So obviously there is like a little bit of problem with Lumira, but still I've adjusted completely these charts, and all the data are coming, and you can see that you allotted all the companies in big data, along with, for example, if you have SAP, how it is connecting to Sybase, it has connected to Oracle, it has connected to other companies here and there. So this is one of the good learning, building this network stuff in D3. So then we go for, okay, so we got all the data. Now we look at, okay, what are the startup companies who are doing very good in big data in terms of revenues? And we start looking at them and say, okay, so SGI is one of the company, and then you have QLake is one of the companies. So they are generating a very good amount of revenue, and they've been invested a lot by different investment firms. So we look at these companies and then analyze the trend. We can drill down. We can also drill down of this particular data, and start analyzing whether these companies like doing a hardware, software, or how good they are. So we can start looking at investment of this company. So we have now come down to a conclusion of investment in a startup. Now if there is a big top 4 giants who you want to buy stock from and then start investing. So what we'll do is, we got top 4 giants from the total revenue and big data revenue. Then we will look at the stock trends in this particular field. So when you start looking, what we are, the animation is currently slow because I'm running a system inside my Mac, and it is kind of a little bit of slow. But otherwise, and also the Lumira is running a little bit of slow. The trend here is, what I'm going to show is a kind of a flow or animation where the stock data is flowing with a time period, and for the top big companies in this big data market, like IBM, SAP, Teradata, HP. So it has been very slow, but I think if you put it in a standalone Windows system, it will run better, and animation will be more smoother. And I have tried this. Maybe I will also show this in the this packer where it will be better of showing there. But obviously, this is a lot more better animation. It will show animation smoothly, and then it will start blending in all together. Whereas this has been a very disconnected animation. So, so this is what the actual stuff that we want to achieve. Where we started with the big data, understand the different companies in big data, their revenue, their you know briefly their different details. So now what we will do is we will go to this packer and we'll start looking at uh, in our code base what we have done. One is for three extensions that we built. One is cloud, one is the other one is the the animation wheel, and then the other one is the interconnection card diagram. So for the partner ecosystem. So let me go into the Lumira perspective, and then my system is slow. So the Wishpacker tool has been a great learning experience with the obviously with the data modeling everything in one place, and then so I got my Wishpacker. I'll open my different things extension that I've developed. One one being the card. So I've created a different version of this, obviously version 1 and then while creating in a brief period of time, I've learned a lot from this pattern. So one is this stick forms to generate. Okay. Yes. So this is a chord diagram that has been built on this extension, and we have started adding some styles, and then the main thing here in this is if even if it is a VP extension, there have been a lot of challenges with the Lumira. One is building this full matrix as such, and then going through the basically the Lumira does the transformation to the corner, and we have to adjust it to the middle. So I have to transform it, and a lot of coding has to be done for that to come into speaker. So, but otherwise, it is a good challenge, and the interaction has to be added. But otherwise, this was one of the things that we built. And going to the next extension that we built, it is cloud. So with cloud, we've got all the data, we've got all the analysis done, and then we started generating, which else generates. So, so this is the response. So the whole data that comes in is put in and based on the occurrence in the data model that we have defined. We have put in and all the data is generated in a random angle manner. So this is one of the extensions that we have built, and so we have used a D3 word cloud, which is below, and then we've added the whole cloud data and then start consuming. In future, what we can do is this extension can be evolved in such a way that we pass in, we'll allow the user to pass in information of the angle that they want to do, either square root wise or angle cos or theta wise, how they want to generate this plot, and how random, how occurrence, different algorithm can be brought in and then put it. Currently, it does everything randomly, so every time I generate, it will be random sequence and then from the same data, random generation of data. So the next one which we have started using is a showreel. So I want to show this to you in a brief manner because it was very slow there. Finally, we'll look at the showreel chart. The, the showreel chart, which was a lot of animation lagging in the first place in Lumira, with the Whispacker it runs a little bit of smoothly, and so we will go through this chart, understand. So when you see this animation, so this is a kind of animated experience for existing stock analysis trend data, and so it will keep on rolling. So once the end arrives, it will start from the start. So if the reason behind this extension is, so for example, if you say you are doing a message analysis, the amount of message that has been there, the amount of error that has been made was very high issues, or anything for that matter, you keep start rolling in live data, and then you can start comparing with the existing data. So all these part of this, so it will start rolling. It will be an animated experience how things have been evolving with the current existing team, current existing component, or anything. So this was a good experience. Thank you for making us presenting during a challenge, and I hope this forms one of a good story.